My beloved child, do you not realize that the hours of your life are never just the meaningless passing of time? There are moments, though, they may appear ordinary to human eyes, that are in truth sacred appointments, predetermined by the heavens from the foundation of creation. Tonight is one of those moments. It does not come like a random breeze that drifts by, nor is it a coincidence in the endless cycle of day and night. This is the time I have ordained to meet with you, to reveal what your heart has long been searching for. You have asked many questions. Why have the past years carried so many trials? Why do the dreams that seem to have died still linger faintly within? Why does an inner voice still whisper for you to wait for something greater, my child? These questions are not accidents. They are the very signs that your soul was fashioned to seek me, the one who formed you from dust, breathed life into you, numbered every hair on your head, and knows every beat of your heart. I have seen you in your hours of solitude when the world around you seemed silent. I have heard the sighs that had no words, the desires that never took shape in sentences, the tears that flowed unseen in the night. You thought no one noticed, yet I, who dwell in the secret place, have heard them all. As Psalm 5:6-8 declares, "You have kept count of my wanderings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Not one tear has been forgotten, not one silent prayer lost to the void. I have gathered them all, and tonight I long to answer you in a way that surpasses your understanding. I know, my child, that at times you wonder if I am still near. You look at your circumstances, feel lost amidst uncertainty, and ask, Lord, do you truly hear me? Do you see my pain? Or have I been abandoned among the crowds? But I tell you this, not for a single moment have I left you. You may not feel my presence, but I have been beside you all along. As Isaiah 4:6-4 promises, even to your old age I am he, and to gray hairs I will carry you. I have made and I will bear, I will carry and will save. My love and my presence do not change, regardless of the shifting tides of your emotions. Tonight I call you to prepare your heart, for you stand before a great turning point, not a shallow change on the surface, but a transformation that touches the deepest layers of your spirit. You have carried burdens for too long, clinging to fears, worries, and painful memories like a cloak you could never remove. But I have come to lift that weight from your shoulders. I have come to give you new freedom, new joy, and a hope that cannot be shaken. As Jesus once said, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Matthew 1:1-8. I urge you now, cast all your cares upon me, for I care for you. Remember this, I am not a distant God, high above and indifferent to the world. I am the one who split the sea so my people could cross on dry ground, the one who drew water from the rock for a thirsty nation, the one who called life forth from the very place where death had reigned. No obstacle is too great for me, no circumstance beyond my power. You may see yourself as small and limited, but I am the limitless one. You may see the road ahead as dark, but I am the light of the world. You may feel weak, but I am your strength. Ask yourself, how could one so mighty care for someone so small as you? How can I turn mourning into gladness, ashes into beauty, despair into renewed hope? The answer is not found in human understanding, but in my very nature. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are higher than yours. You need only believe, for faith is the key that unlocks the door to miracles. Just as Abraham believed in the promise before seeing it with his eyes, and that faith was credited to him as righteousness, so too will your faith open the way for my wonders. My child, tonight I desire to plant a new seed within you. That seed will grow, take deep roots, and in due season bear fruit. But a seed can only thrive when the soil of the heart is softened, when the stones of doubt are removed, when the thorns of worry are cleared away. Therefore I call you to open your heart fully, to release what you have clung to so tightly. Let me enter not only the rooms you have tidied, but also the dark corners you fear to expose. For I do not seek artificial perfection. I seek a heart that is genuine. Do not be afraid when I touch the hidden places within you. I come not to condemn, but to heal. I come not to judge, but to lift up. As John 3:17 affirms, "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him." I long to turn your pain into testimony, your failures into radiant victory. All this because I love you, a love unchanging, unconditional, and without end. So tonight be ready. This is no ordinary night. This is the night I come to renew my covenant with you, the night I want you to sense my presence closer than your breath, brighter than the sun. I stand at the door of your heart and knock. Will you open? Will you let me in, not to part of your life, but to all of it? Will you allow me to transform every corner, every shadow, every wound? Trust me, and you will see that what I will do in your life is far beyond anything you have ever imagined. My child, I want you to recognize a vital truth: none of your prayers have ever fallen into emptiness. Even when you thought your petitions vanished into silence, I heard them, I preserved them, and I prepared the appointed time to answer. Some requests I respond to instantly, but others I delay, not because I ignore you, but because I desire for you to mature so that you can fully carry the blessing I have destined. Remember Israel in the wilderness. They cried out for water, and I caused it to gush forth from the rock. They grumbled in hunger, and I gave them manna from heaven. Every need was supplied, yet in each miracle, I was also teaching them the lesson of trust. It is the same with you, whether I respond immediately or wait. It is always to lead you into deeper reliance on me, so that your faith takes root in solid ground, rather than resting only on passing emotions. There are moments when your heart feels like parched soil, and the dreams within you seem like seeds long buried beneath hardened earth. You believe they have died, that no hope remains for them to sprout again. But I am the one who makes the desert bloom, the one who causes wilderness to burst into blossom. I can call the dead back to life. Just as Ezekiel beheld the valley of dry bones, and I commanded them to come together, covered them with flesh and skin, and breathed my spirit into them until they rose as a vast army, Ezekiel 37, so I will breathe upon the dreams you thought had decayed. I will cause them to rise again with renewed strength. But for this to unfold, you must open your heart. Do not confine me to the box of limited understanding. Do not measure me by your finite experiences. You see walls, but I see doors. You see chasms, but I see bridges. You see defeat, but I see the beginning of great victory. For with God nothing shall be impossible, Luke 1:37. If I can call out the stars by name and keep them in their appointed paths, surely I can hold your life securely within my hand of power. You have asked, Lord, how can I believe when my eyes see nothing? How can I hope when everything around me is covered in darkness? Remember, this faith is not the result of sight, but the assurance of what is yet unseen. When you place your trust entirely in me, you are standing upon a foundation stronger than anything your physical eyes could behold. As Hebrews 1:1 declares, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. This is how you can remain firm, even when the storms rise against you. I have noticed every quiet effort that you assumed went unseen. When you chose forgiveness instead of retaliation, I saw. When you lifted prayers for others in secret, I heard. When you bore pain silently to bring joy to someone else, I recorded it. Not a single act of love or faith has been overlooked. Each deed becomes a seed sown into the spiritual field, and in due season it will yield a harvest. Never underestimate the small steps. Do not compare your journey to that of others. I am writing your own story, one woven with eternal purpose. Tonight I call you to lay down the weapons you once wielded against fear and doubt. They are no longer needed. for I am your shield. I call you to release the need to control every detail of the future. If you try to carry everything, you will soon exhaust yourself. But when you entrust it to me, you will walk in rest. As Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." You do not need to calculate every step. You only need to walk in my guidance, and I will take care of the rest. Picture this. When a child holds his father's hand, he does not need to know which way the father will turn at the crossroads, nor understand the full path ahead. He only needs to trust that his father's hand is strong enough to lead him safely. So it is with you. Hold my hand and walk, not by sight, but by faith. I am leading you into a journey you have never traveled before, but every step is marked by my presence. And know this, your worth is not determined by the world's recognition, nor diminished by past failures. Your value flows from the eternal love I have placed upon you. You do not need to prove yourself worthy, for it is by my grace that you have already been made worthy. As Paul wrote, "My power is made perfect in weakness," 2 Corinthians 1:9. When you are weak, I am your strength. When you fall, I lift you up. When you lose your way, I bring you home. My child, this is the moment I long to restore what has been broken within you. The wounds you hide behind your smile, the fragments you cover so no one will see, I see them all and I have not turned away. I have not come to rebuke you, but to heal. I have come to piece together the shattered parts into a whole more beautiful than you could have imagined. I have come to affirm that not a single day of your life has been wasted, not a single pain without purpose. All of it has become the material through which I weave my good plan for you. Tonight, lift up your head. Do not fix your gaze on lack. Do not stare into the darkness, but look to me. Let your eyes rise beyond what is seen and focus on the eternal. For all things pass, but what I build within you will endure forever. Trust that I am preparing a future filled with hope. Let faith guide you. Let gratitude keep you humble, and let obedience open the way for new miracles. I declare to you, the hour of transformation has come, and you will never be the same again. My beloved, I am calling you into deeper waters, a place where safety no longer comes from what you can control, but from my presence alone. You have grown accustomed to holding everything tightly, planning each step, calculating every path, yet the more you do, the more weary your heart becomes. You believe that if you let go, everything will collapse. But consider, how many times have you striven on your own, only to feel empty? How many times have you drafted perfect plans, only to be left disappointed? Now I call you surrender. Let me lead. As Psalm 3:7-5 proclaims, commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act. When you lay down your burdens and place them in my hands, you will watch doors open where you once saw only walls. Remember Peter, who saw Jesus walking on the stormy waters at night. He cried out, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." And when he stepped out of the boat, he truly walked upon the waves. But the moment his eyes shifted from Jesus to the wind and the sea, he began to sink. So it is with you. When you fix your gaze only on the storm, you sink in fear. But if your eyes remain on me, you will stand even in the midst of the tempest. Tonight I invite you to step out of the boat, to dare to tread upon the waters, trusting that I will not let you fall. You have hidden in your heart corners. You feared to expose memories, failures, regrets you thought would make me turn away if revealed. Yet, my child, I do not seek outward perfection. I seek you, your light and your shadow, your triumphs and your defeats. I desire to heal the places you have concealed. Like the Samaritan woman at the well who avoided the crowd and covered her shame, yet when she encountered Jesus, she was set free. He revealed her truth not to condemn, but to heal. So it is with you. I long to enter even the places you fear the most. I know of the dreams you abandoned, the gifts you buried, believing they no longer had value. I know of the promises you thought had grown too late to be fulfilled, but I am the one who makes all things new. Behold, I am making all things new. Revelation 2:1-5. No dream I planted within you is meaningless. No word I have spoken over you will fail. Tonight I desire to reignite those sparks, to breathe life into what you thought was dead. You will rise with fresh strength, renewed faith, and a hope that burns brighter than ever before. Do not let the past bind you. Do not look back with regret at what has been. You are no longer defined by mistakes or failures. You are defined by my love for you, by the blood of my Son poured out for your redemption. As 2 Corinthians 5:1-7 declares, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. You are free not to walk as a victim, but as a victor. Do you know that all of heaven rejoices over you? My angels encamp around you. My Spirit dwells within you, empowering you, not merely to survive, but to live fully. You were not called to shame or condemnation, but to the freedom of the children of God. Stand tall, lift your head high, for you are no orphan, you are a son, a daughter of the Most High. You share in the inheritance of heaven. You are not seated outside the banquet, but at the very table of grace. Tonight is an invitation, not an invitation to an empty ritual, but to a personal encounter face to face with me. I want you to draw near, to leave behind the noise and distraction, to sit in stillness and listen. I long to whisper to you the secrets of my kingdom mysteries, hidden since the beginning of time. But to hear them, you must make room. You must have the courage to clear away the clutter, to prepare the altar of your heart for me alone. Then you will find that silence is not emptiness, but a space overflowing with my presence. Tonight, enter my rest. Lay down the need to prove yourself. Release the fear of failure. Abandon the burden of trying to please everyone. You need do nothing more for me to love you. You are already fully loved. You have been purchased at a price, the blood of my Son. That love cannot be withdrawn, cannot be shaken, cannot be broken. You are mine, and I am yours. This is the night of covenant, the night where heaven touches earth, the night I engrave a new seal upon your heart. From this night forward, you will never be the same. You will walk with certainty that I am with you, that every promise of mine is yes and amen. You will know that even on the hardest days I hold your hand. Even when you hear nothing, I am still whispering. You are mine, and I will never forsake you. My beloved, now I want you to grasp this truth. I have not only come to comfort you in weakness, but to transform your life. Many times you have asked, will my life always remain this way? Will the promises ever be fulfilled? Deep within you, feared your dreams were illusions, your longings, fragile hopes. But I declare to you, not a single word I have spoken will fall to the ground. As Isaiah 5:5-1 says, so shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it. Every word I have spoken over your life carries life, and in the right time it will be fulfilled. I know you have endured long seasons of waiting, sometimes nearly hopeless. You have seen others enter their blessings, while you wrestled with unanswered desires. You asked, Lord, have you forgotten me? But my child, I have never forgotten. I am not a man that should break my word. I am the faithful God, the covenant-keeping God. Even in silence I am working. Like a seed buried beneath the soil, unseen yet sprouting, growing day by day, until it breaks through the ground to bear fruit, so it is with what I have sown in you. I am not preparing only temporary blessings. What I am preparing is renewal from within. I am turning sorrow into joy, disappointment into hope, weariness into strength. Consider Joseph, sold as a slave, imprisoned unjustly, yet in the end I raised him to be ruler in Egypt, to save many lives. His journey was filled with hardship, but not one day of it was wasted. So too I am shaping you through every trial, preparing you for a place you cannot yet imagine. Your suffering is not meant to destroy you, but to form within you unshakable strength and unwavering faith. My child, tonight I want you to understand that your wounds are not the end, but the beginning of a miracle. Every crack within you is a place for my light to shine through. You once believed yourself broken, yet it is in that very brokenness that my grace is revealed most clearly. As Paul testified, "When I am weak, then I am strong." 2 Corinthians 1:2-10. My power is made perfect in weakness. I do not ask you to come to me in perfection, but in honesty. Bring me your joy and your sorrow, your victories and your failures, and you will see how I transform them all into good for you. Never think that you are invisible before me. I have watched over you since you were in your mother's womb. Before the world ever saw you, I knew you. Before you cried your first cry, I heard. Before you took your first steps, I was there to uphold you. And throughout your journey, I have never turned my face away. Even when you felt most alone, I was seated beside you. Even as you slept, I stood guard. Even when you did not pray, I sang songs of deliverance over your soul. Believe that my love for you is not fleeting but everlasting, unshakable, and eternal. Tonight I call you to hear my voice in the silence. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my gentle whisper. Do not let worry dim the light I am shining into your heart. Make room for me. Open the door of your heart and let me in, not only into the tidy rooms, but also into the hidden corners you fear to reveal. For I am not repelled by your darkness. I am the very light that drives it away. When you let me enter, every chain will break, every fear will dissolve, and you will taste what true freedom island. Do not worry that you are too small for my care, for I am the one who created the vast universe, yet I hear every sigh of yours. I call each star by name, yet I know every hair on your head. I stir the mighty oceans, yet I cradle you gently in my arms. To me you are not a drop lost in a sea of humanity, but a treasure engraved upon the palms of my hands. As Isaiah 4:9-16 declares, "Behold, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me." This is the unchanging proof of my steadfast love for you. My beloved, I am calling you out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of faith. Do not delay. Do not fear what is unknown. I have gone before you, preparing the way, arranging every detail. I am shaping a future not to harm you, but to give you hope and a radiant destiny. Trust in me, and you will see that I am the God of restoration, of redemption, and of new beginnings. Tonight marks that beginning, the opening of a new chapter in the story I am writing through your life. I know that the past still weighs heavily upon your shoulders. Like lingering shadows, it clings even as you try to move forward. Painful memories, failures, words that wounded, rejections that scarred. They have become burdens that have kept you from lifting your head. You have whispered to yourself, "Perhaps my life ends here. Perhaps these wounds will never heal." But I tell you, no wound lies beyond the reach of my healing. No past is too dark for my love to illuminate. No burden is too heavy for me to lift. I see the secrets buried deep within you, the things you could never share with anyone. You fear rejection, scorn, abandonment, if they are revealed. Yet hear me, you need not fear when you stand before me. For my love is not built upon your perfection, but upon my faithfulness. I do not love you less when you are weak, nor more when you succeed. My love is constant through every high and low. As Psalm 103:13-14 says, "As a father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear him. For he knows our frame. He remembers that we are dust. I know your frailty, and it is for this reason that I come to cover you with mercy." My child, you once believed that your mistakes had destroyed every opportunity in your life. You feared that the failures of your past had caused me to change my plans for you. But hear me, I do not change as man changes. My purposes are not shattered by a single stumble. As Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans for peace and not for harm, to give you a future and a hope." You are not defined by your failures, you are defined by the good plan I have designed for you, and that plan still stands untouched by your past. My beloved, it is within your deepest wounds that I reveal my greatest healing. As gold is refined in the fire, you have endured trials that have made you brighter, stronger, and more precious. What the enemy meant to use for your destruction, I am turning into a tool for your building. The tears you thought were wasted, I am turning into seeds for a harvest of joy. You have not lost, you are in the process of transformation. I see the chains binding your mind, fear, shame, condemnation, and whispers telling you that you are unworthy. But I have come to break them all. I have come to proclaim liberty for the captive, to open the prison for the bound. As the prophet Isaiah foretold, and as my son declared in the synagogue, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives, recovery of sight to the blind, to set free the oppressed. Luke 4:18. This same word is for you tonight. You are free. No chain can hold you when I have declared your release. Cast off the burden of shame. Do not believe the enemy's lie that you are not good enough. My grace is sufficient to cover every shortcoming. When my son died upon the cross, every sin was paid in full. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Romans 8:1. You no longer need to live under guilt. You are called righteous, not by your own works, but by the blood shed for you. Do you know, all of heaven rejoices each time one soul turns back to me. You have never been forgotten. You are not an outsider. You are my child, heir to an inheritance that will never fade. Let this truth penetrate your heart. You do not need to beg for my love. It has already been lavishly given. You do not need to strive for man's approval. You have already been accepted in the Beloved. Allow me to heal even the places you have never dared to touch. Allow me into the depths of pain you thought no one could understand. I understand, I know, and I love you right there. When you hand me your broken pieces, I will form them into a perfect masterpiece. When you give me your ashes, I will exchange them for a crown of beauty. When you offer me your tears, I will turn them into songs of praise. My love does not merely wipe away your tears, it transforms them into seeds for eternal joy. Lift your head, no longer bowed in shame. You are forgiven, redeemed, and called by a new name. You are no longer a slave to sin, but a free child in my household. Tonight I call you out of the shadows and into the light. Clothe yourself with the robe of righteousness. Wear the crown of grace. Walk forward with courage, for you are not alone. I go before you, I walk beside you, and I cover you from behind. Let your heart be light, my child. Lay down every burden and run into my embrace. There you will find rest the world can never give. There you will find a love that never fades. There you will be renewed, restored, and sent out with a new purpose. This is your hour. This is your night of freedom. Receive it with all your heart, and you will never be the same. My beloved, now that I have spoken healing and declared your freedom, I want you to prepare to step into a new journey. Do not think that my work ends with bandaging wounds or soothing sorrow. No, my child. I am rebuilding your life from the foundation up to shape you into one stronger, steadier, and more radiant than before. You are no longer the one sitting on the roadside waiting for a miracle. You are the living testimony of my power. You are no longer the one holding the pain of the past. You are becoming an instrument of hope to those still trapped in darkness. Understand this, not a step of your journey has been wasted. Every trial, every tear, every sleepless night, I have woven them all into the groundwork for the path ahead. Think of David, once only a nameless shepherd boy, spending lonely days in the fields battling lions and bears to protect his flock. Those days seemed meaningless, yet they were training for the moment he would stand before Goliath. So it is with you. The smaller battles you have fought are preparing you for greater victories. Do not despise the season of training, for it is there that I am sharpening you into a weapon in my hand. I have called you by a new name. The world may have labeled you as failure, weak, or worthless, but I call you by names far different: victorious, steadfast, precious mine. You are not defined by rejection, but by my choosing. As Isaiah 4:3-1 says, "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, you are mine." Let this truth sink deep into your heart, so that when you are tempted to doubt your worth, you remember that the Creator Himself has called you personally. Tonight I long to breathe new life into the dreams within you. Some you buried because they seemed too far out of reach. Some you abandoned because you believed you were not capable. But my child, I do not call the qualified, I qualify the call. It is my love that empowers you to accomplish what is beyond your strength. As Philippians 4:1-3 declares, I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. The strength you need is not in you, it is in me. And when you place your trust in me, no barrier can stand in your way. My child, do not fear what lies ahead. I know you worry about the future, that you fear stumbling once more. But remember this: I am the one who goes before you to prepare the way. I am the one who comes behind to guard you, and I am the one who walks beside you always. When you pass through the waters, you will not be overwhelmed. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. For I, the Lord your God, uphold you with my mighty right hand. No force can snatch you from my grasp. Step forward with courage, for you are never alone. I have stationed my angels around you. I have placed my Spirit within you to guide every step. I have equipped you with unique gifts that no one else carries. Let them shine, for the world is in need of the light within you. You were not rescued merely for safety, but to become a lamp for others. As Matthew 5:1-4 declares, you are the light of the world, and you, my beloved child, will shine in the darkness, not by your own strength, but by the light I have placed within you. Do not despise small beginnings. You may think your first steps are too small to matter, but I delight in faithfulness in the little things. Just as the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds, yet grows into a tree where birds find shelter, so your small, faithful steps will grow into something great. Do not underestimate faithfulness in the small, for it lays the foundation upon which I will entrust you with much more. Tonight I want you to see yourself through my eyes. You are no longer a wanderer without direction. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are my warrior, my witness of life, my vessel of hope. I have placed my word in your mouth to speak forth. I have placed my love in your heart to pour out. I have placed my Spirit upon you, that you may walk in power. You are called to bring healing to the broken, light to the dark, joy to the despairing. Receive this truth: I have not only brought you out of darkness, but I am sending you forth to shine. I have not only healed you, but I have given you power to become a healer to others. I have not only restored you, but I have made you a living testimony of restoration. Tonight, a new chapter is opening for you, and you will not walk in fear, but in faith, assured that the one who began this good work in you will carry it to completion. Prepare your heart, for I have promised not only rest, but also a mission. And as you walk in that mission, you will experience a fulfillment deeper than anything the world could give. Tonight is your confirmation: you are no longer who you once were. You have been made new, sent forth, set upon a great journey. Hold on to this word, my child, for I am the faithful God, and I will accomplish what I have spoken. My beloved, I want to take you even further, beyond what is familiar, beyond the limits you have placed on yourself, beyond the walls you have built around your heart. You have been healed. You have heard my confirmation that you are mine, but the journey does not end there. I am inviting you into deeper fellowship where you do not only know of me in thought, but truly experience me in every breath, every moment. You have read and heard that I am faithful, but now is the time to taste that faithfulness in your very life. Think of a child learning to walk. At first, the steps are trembling, unsteady, and filled with many falls. Yet each time the child falls, the parent lifts them up, encourages them until their feet grow strong and sure. So it is with you. I know you are not perfect. I know you still worry, but I do not demand instant perfection. I only ask that you dare to step, dare to trust, dare to place your hand in mine. As Psalm 37:23 says, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Even if you stumble, I will lift you, and you will learn that true strength is not found in yourself, but in clinging tightly to me." My child, I have not promised that the road will always be smooth. I have not promised that you will never face storms. But I do promise this: I will be with you in every circumstance. Just as my people once walked through the wilderness by day, I covered them with a pillar of cloud, and by night I gave them a pillar of fire. You will never be alone, for my presence will surround you. I am the light in the darkness, the stream in the desert, the shield when the enemy attacks. Take heart, for I am your shepherd, and you shall not want. You have asked many times, Lord, how can I be sure you are near when I cannot feel you, my child? My presence is not bound to your emotions. Feelings rise and fall like waves of the sea, but truth does not change. I have never left you. As Jesus declared in Matthew 28:20, "Behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. When you feel me, I am there. When you do not feel me, I am still there. When you sing, I listen. When you are silent, I remain by your side." My presence is never broken, for I am the God who abides. It is time for you to step into deeper trust, not only to believe when the path is easy, but to trust even when you cannot see the way. Not only when prayers are answered swiftly, but also when I remain silent. True faith does not rest upon sight, but upon the assurance that I am faithful. Remember Abraham, he left his homeland to go to a place he had never known, simply because he trusted the promise. He had no map, no detailed plan, but he had my word, and he believed. So must you let my word become your compass, instead of trying to hold tightly to a map of your own making. I know that full trust is not easy. It requires surrender, an acknowledgement that you do not know everything. Yet in that surrender, you will find rest. Like the sailor who stops fighting the current and lets the wind carry the sail where I blow you to, will find my hand lifting you when you cease striving to save yourself. When you stop fearing that you will sink, you will discover you are walking on water. Learn to listen to my voice in the quiet. The world is noisy with countless voices clamoring for your attention. Some whisper that you are not enough. Others predict your failure. Still others try to plant doubt that I care. Yet in the midst of all this noise, my voice still speaks gentle but full of authority. You are mine. Just as Elijah found me not in the wind, not in the earthquake, nor in the fire, but in the gentle whisper, 1 Kings 19. So you too will find me, not in the clamor, but in the stillness of a heart turned fully toward me. Tonight I am preparing a transformation for you. Not merely a change in circumstance, but a change within your very soul. I will open your eyes to see what you have not seen, open your ears to hear what you have not heard, and open your heart to feel what you have not felt. I will awaken in you a new desire to live not for yourself, but for my kingdom. You will no longer chase after man's approval, but long to please me. You will no longer be consumed by the small cares of life, but will walk with eternal vision. Be ready. for I am arranging divine appointments along your journey. You will meet those I have ordained to cross your path, and you will be the answer to prayers they have prayed. I will open doors no one can shut, and I will shut doors no one can open. You need only remain faithful, and you will see my plan unfold step by step. So walk forward in trust. Do not let your eyes fix on the storm, but lift them to me. Do not let your heart be tangled in the unknown, but rest in the truth that I know all things. Do not let fear overtake you, but remember that perfect love casts out all fear. This is the hour I am preparing for you things beyond imagination. Only one thing is required. Trust me, for I have never broken my word. My beloved child, I want you to know that not a single season of your life has been wasted. Even the times that seemed darkest were the very moments I was doing my deepest work for you. When you felt lost in barren wilderness, it was then that I was rooting your faith deeper. When you thought your tears fell into nothingness, I was watering the soil of your spirit to prepare for a glorious harvest. As Psalm 1265 declares, those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. The tears you shed yesterday will become the songs of joy you sing tomorrow. My child, you once felt lost amidst the storms of life. At times you thought you had strayed too far, that there was no way back. But I am the one who knows every step you take. Even when you wander, I know the way to lead you home. Just as the shepherd leaves the 99 to search for the one who is lost, I too have sought you, carried you upon my shoulders, and brought you back to the fold. You cannot stray so far that I cannot reach you. You cannot fall so deep that I cannot lift you. You cannot run so far that I cannot find you. My love pursues you without ceasing across every distance, despite every time you have turned away. I know there are moments when you have asked why trial after trial. Why are my prayers still unanswered? Understand, this beloved delay is not denial. Every pause carries a purpose. Consider Joseph, betrayed, falsely imprisoned, enduring years of waiting, yet not a single year was wasted. Those years were preparation for him to become the vessel of deliverance for an entire nation. So it is with you. Trials are not meant to break you, but to prepare you for what I have ordained. My timing is never late. It is always perfect. I do not leave you to fight alone. When your strength runs dry, I am your strength. When you feel unable to take another step, my mighty arm will carry you. As Isaiah 40:31 promises, but they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Exhaustion is only the doorway for you to learn to lean upon my strength, not your own. And in your weakness you will discover a well of endurance that never runs dry. No enemy is strong enough to steal what I have proposed for you. The enemy may try to sow fear or doubt, but my power is greater than all. Remember Goliath. He towered over Israel's army, yet a shepherd boy with a simple stone and faith in me brought him down. You do not need mighty weapons. You only need trust in me. I myself will fight for you, and victory will be yours, for the battle belongs to the Lord. Look back and see the footprints I have left in your life. In your darkest moments, I never abandoned you. When you thought you could not rise, yet you stood. When you believed you would remain down forever, yet you overcame. Who lifted you? It was I. When you had no words left to pray, yet still breath filled your lungs, it was I who sustained your life. When you slept, I kept watch. When you wept, my unseen hand wiped your tears. Every detail has been a testimony that I have never forsaken you. Do not fear that you lack the strength to continue. I have placed within you all that you need to finish the journey, seeds of patience, faithfulness, and courage. Now I will cause them to rise. You will find yourself stronger than you ever imagined. You will speak words you never thought you could say. You will accomplish what you once deemed impossible, not by your own strength, but because my Spirit is with you. Tonight I urge you, let go of comparison. Do not look at others and think they move faster, succeed more, or are more blessed. You are walking a path uniquely designed by me. I do not measure you by the success of others, but by your faithfulness in each step. Remember when Peter asked about John's destiny and Jesus replied, "If it is my will that he remains until I come, what is that to you? You follow me." John 2:1-2:2. So it is with you. Fix your eyes on me, not on the journeys of others. Never despise small beginnings. From the quiet, faithful steps I am building something great. Like the mustard seed, the smallest of seeds, yet growing into a great tree, so too will your faithfulness in little things today become an extraordinary harvest tomorrow. Keep sowing in love, keep walking in obedience. You do not yet know how abundant the harvest will be. Therefore do not lose heart. I am doing new work, and you are its witness. You have passed through fire, and were not consumed through waters, and were not drowned, for I have preserved you. Now I call you to rise with new strength, with eyes that see farther, with a heart widened with faith, more steadfast than ever before. The best is not behind you, it lies ahead. Be ready, for I am opening doors that will lead you into the destiny I prepared from the foundation of the world. My beloved, it is time to leave behind what has passed and step into a new chapter. You have carried too long the burdens of old memories, of hurtful words, of failures that shamed you. You have looked back fearing that the past will dictate your present and future. But I am the one who makes all things new. I have redeemed those days, washed them clean by the blood of my Son, and written across them forgiven. Why do you still hold on? Let go, for you cannot carry the past and embrace the glorious future at the same time. Remember Lot's wife. When she looked back, she became a pillar of salt. This is a picture of how clinging to the past halts the journey forward. I do not want you halted. I want you advancing. As Philippians 3:1-3:14 affirms, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead, I press on toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. So too must you refuse to let the past anchor you. I am calling you to move forward, to aim for the high calling I have set before you. My child, believe that none of the pain you have endured is meaningless. I will use it to teach you compassion, to soften your heart, and to shape you into a vessel of comfort for those who also suffer. You will come to see that the scars on your life are not signs of weakness, but testimonies that you have survived, that you have been preserved, and that you have been transformed by my love. Just as the early believers proclaimed their faith even through persecution, it is often the witness that rises out of wounds, which carries more power to move hearts than 1,000 sermons. Tonight I call you to rise in new courage. I know there have been times when fear kept you from moving forward, when you thought you were not enough. But remember, I do not seek perfection. I seek willingness. Moses stammered and hesitated, yet I used him to deliver a nation from slavery. Gideon hid in fear, yet I raised him to be a mighty warrior who defeated the enemy. And you too, though you see yourself as small in my hand, you are a powerful instrument. As 2 Corinthians 4:7 says, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us." You may feel fragile, but precisely in that weakness, my power shines through. Lift up your head, for you are no longer condemned, but declared righteous. When I look at you, I do not see a record of failures. I see the image of my Son reflected in you. When I listen to you, I do not hear the cry of despair. I hear the voice of a child who belongs to me. You are an heir to an eternal inheritance, a light I have placed in a darkened world. You no longer need to hide, for the light within you will shine. The world still groans, still waits for the revealing of the children of God. And you are part of that reveal. I have not rescued you merely so that you might live safely, but that you would become a voice of hope, the hands of love, a living testimony of my faithfulness. Your life will be like a letter to the world, not written with ink, but written by the Spirit of the living God, 2 Corinthians 3:3. Every step you take, every word you speak, every act of love will become proof to the world that I am still at work. Do not wait for everything to be perfect before you begin. Start where you are with what you have in your hand. Just as the boy who had only 5 loaves and 2 fish, yet when placed in my hands they fed thousands, so too I will multiply what you bring to me. You may think you have little of worth, but when surrendered to me, I will magnify it beyond imagination. I will take your small acts of faithfulness and use them to touch countless lives. I will take the seeds you sow in tears and return them as a harvest of joy. Tonight I say to you, rise up, shake off the ashes, put on the garment of praise. I have crowned you with loving kindness, anointed your head with oil, and called you mine. No one can strip away that identity. No human word can change it. No power of darkness can touch it. You belong to me, and I delight in you. As Zephaniah 3:17 declares, the Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you with his love. He will exult over you with loud singing. This is the love I sing over your life. Let your heart be steadfast, my child. From this night forward, you will no longer walk as one wounded, but as a warrior healed. You will no longer live as a wanderer, but as one with a mission. You will no longer bow your head in shame, but lift it high, knowing you are loved. Be ready, for I am bringing you into a new season, a season of courage, a season of sending, a season of fulfillment. My beloved, this is the hour in which I am doing something new in your life. Though your eyes may not yet see it, your ears may not yet hear it, and your heart may not yet grasp it fully, my work has already begun. Like a hidden spring flowing beneath dry ground, it quietly moves until it bursts forth into streams of living water. So too is the work I am doing for you, quiet, unseen, but steady and sure, and it will bear fruit at the appointed time. As Isaiah 4:3-19 proclaims, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. That is what I am accomplishing in your journey, even now. You have endured long days that felt hopeless. You looked around and saw only desert, a place where dreams seemed dead, hopes broken. You felt lost with no signs pointing the way. But my child, it is in the desert that I reveal my power most clearly. In the desert I fed my people with bread from heaven and water from the rock. In the desert I guided them with clouds by day and fire by night. And in the deserts of your own life I will prove again that I am faithful, the God who never abandons those who wait upon me. My child, what I am about to do is unlike anything you have ever experienced. You may think you can imagine the way I work, but my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are higher than your ways. If you think the only answer is a narrow escape, I will open a wide highway. If you believe I will only provide just enough for you to survive, I will pour out blessings so abundant you will not be able to contain them. If you think the future will remain as dark as the past, I will cause the sun to rise in splendor and scatter every shadow. I am not limited by your understanding, nor bound by the circumstances you face. Consider the seed buried in the ground. To the human eye it seems lifeless, like dust hidden in the earth. But within it lies life, and when the time comes it bursts forth, sprouting into a great tree. So it is with you. The silent seasons of your life are not meaningless. They are the time when I prepare the seed within you, so that when the moment arrives it will blossom into a radiant harvest. Not one seed of mine ever falls to the ground in vain. Tonight I call you to open your heart wide to receive the new thing I am bringing forth. Do not let the past limit your vision. Do not allow fear to hold back your steps. Do not let the weight of failure convince you that I am no longer at work. Believe this: I am the God of new beginnings. I do not simply patch up the old, I build something entirely new. I do not merely restore broken pieces, I transform them into a masterpiece. I do not only reopen doors that have been shut, I create doors that never existed before. Pause for a moment, my child, and reflect. Do you believe I have the power to do exceedingly beyond all that you ask or imagine? Do you dare to trust that I can turn the barrenness of your life into a place overflowing with fruit? Are you ready to let me lead you into paths no one has walked before? If you believe, then step forward. Let your faith swing wide the gate for miracles to enter. I do not promise the new journey will be easy, but I do promise it will be worth it. You may face storms, but I will be your refuge. You may encounter challenges, but I will be your strength. You may walk into unknown lands, but I will go before you to make the way. And when you look back, you will see that every step was guided by my hand. Tonight I declare to you, a new season is beginning. A season of change, a season of unveiling, a season where my promises will be fulfilled in your life. Do not fear, do not doubt, do not delay. Ready your heart, for what I am about to do will leave you astonished. And when it comes to pass, you will know beyond any doubt that it was not by human effort, but by the power of the living God. My beloved, when I say I am doing a new thing, it means I am leading you out of the old frameworks that have bound you. You have grown used to seeing life through the lens of limitation, through what your eyes perceive, what your ears hear, and what your past experience has taught you. But now I want to change your vision. You cannot step into a new season with old mindsets. You cannot reap a fresh harvest with worn-out tools. I am renewing your mind and enlarging your heart so that you can embrace what you have never imagined before. There will be times when my ways surprise you, for they will not follow the patterns you expect. You thought I would move the mountain, but instead I led you around it to teach you patience. You thought I would immediately lift the burden from your shoulders, but instead I gave you strength to carry it without being crushed. You hoped I would change your circumstances, but I began by changing you. Know this: every method of mine is perfect, for I see the whole picture that your eyes cannot. You have experienced doors slamming shut, and bitterness filled your heart. You asked, Lord, why didn't you make a way for me? My child, those closed doors were not meant to harm you, but to protect you. Some paths looked appealing but led only to destruction. Some opportunities seemed good but were traps to lead you astray. That is why I closed them, to keep you for something better, safer, and more glorious. As Revelation 3:8 says, Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. When I open, none can close. When I close, none can open. Trust my wisdom, even when you cannot see the reason. I have seen your faithfulness in small things. You held fast to faith even when no one noticed. You prayed even when answers did not come quickly. You loved even when misunderstood. These acts, though small, shook the heavens. Each time you chose faithfulness, I recorded it. Now I am preparing to reveal the reward for your endurance. As Galatians 6:9 promises, let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. You have sown and your harvest is near. Look back on the recent days when you struggled through trial after trial. You thought you could not endure, yet here you stand today. This is proof that my hand sustained you. The enemy meant those trials to break you, but I turned them into your launching pad. The wounds that once caused you pain will become your living testimony. The losses that once brought you sorrow will become the foundation for what I now build. You are not defeated, you are refined. My child, what I am about to do for you is not for you alone. It will overflow and touch many others. You will become a source of encouragement, a living testimony that God is still at work. People will look at you and know that it is not by your strength but by my grace. You will carry light into dark places and bring hope to broken hearts. This is why I kept you, why I healed you, why I lifted you up, so that you may be my vessel to bring my love into a world that longs for it. Do not fear stepping out of your comfort zone. What is familiar may feel safe, but it can also become chains that bind you. I have not called you to remain where it feels secure. I have called you to walk on the water where only faith keeps you from sinking. Tonight I urge you to move forward, no longer held back by your past or your limitations. Step out, for each step has already been prepared by me. And do not fear your weakness. In weakness my power is made perfect. You do not need to have every answer. You only need to hold tightly to my hand. You do not need to know every detail. You only need to obey. When you do your part, trust and step forward, I will do mine to open the way, to give you strength and to bring forth the outcome. Remember, I am the one who began this good work for you, and I will bring it to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. What I have prepared for you is far greater than anything you have expected. What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no human heart has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him. 1 Corinthians 2:9. And you are one of those who love me. Open your heart wide, for tonight is not just a passing moment but a doorway into a new season, a new destiny, a new mission. My beloved, know this: what I am doing in your life is not a temporary change but a transformation at the very root. It will not touch only fleeting emotions but will change your direction, your nature, and your future. You will no longer live as one running away but stand as one commissioned. You will no longer live merely for survival but in the abundance of my grace. You will no longer cower in fear but walk with courage because you know the living God walks with you in every step. I did not rescue you to keep you sitting still. I freed you to become a vessel of freedom for others. I wiped away your tears so that you may wipe away the tears of the broken. I healed your wounded heart so that you would know how to bind the hearts of others. As 2 Corinthians 1:4 says, He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God. Nothing you have endured is wasted. It is the foundation for you to become a blessing to others. Perhaps you once thought your life was too ordinary to be used for something great. You asked, "What do I have in my hand? What can I possibly do?" But look at those I chose in Scripture. I chose Moses, a shepherd hesitant in speech, to lead a nation out of slavery. I chose David, a forgotten boy in the fields, to become king. I chose the disciples, ordinary fishermen, to change the world. And I have chosen you not because you are perfect, but because my grace is sufficient. Understand this: when my hand rests on your life, the small becomes extraordinary. A single seed of love you sow may rescue a soul drowning in despair. A quiet prayer whispered from your lips may change the destiny of an entire family. A small act of faithfulness may open the door of blessing for a whole generation. You cannot see the full reach of what I will do through you, but believe this: nothing is small when placed in my hands. My child, I want to teach you that success is not measured by the world's standards, but by obedience. People may count numbers, fame, and status, but I look at a faithful heart. When you choose to obey me, even in the smallest things, you are storing up treasures in heaven where no moth can destroy and no thief can steal. You do not need to chase after the shifting measures of this world. You need only live to please me, and your life will hold eternal value. Tonight, I call you to rise in the true identity I have given you. You are not a victim, you are a victor. You are not an outsider, you are my child, adopted into my family. You are not a beggar, you are an heir to an unfading inheritance. You are no longer bound by negative words, rejection, or wounds of the past. You are free to walk in the light. As John 8:36 declares, So if the sun sets you free, you will be free indeed. That freedom belongs to you and no power can take it away. Prepare yourself, for I am placing upon you a new responsibility. Not a burden, but an honor. The honor of carrying my love to others. The honor of living a life that stretches beyond yourself. The honor of standing among those who bring light into the darkness. And I promise you this, when I send you, I also equip you. You will lack nothing needed to complete the work I assign. Do not be afraid of loneliness on this journey, for I will bring companions to walk beside you. I will place divine connections around you, people whose hearts burn with the same pursuit of me. They will lift you up, walk with you, and together you will accomplish great things. And I myself will always be with you, the faithful friend who never leaves. When you are weak, I will give you strength. When you are weary, I will lift you. When you lose your way, I will guide you back. You will never walk alone. The world is waiting for the light you carry. There are those living in the shadows of despair who need to hear that hope is alive. There are broken hearts that need to be touched by my love flowing through you. There are wandering souls who need to see my face reflected in yours. You cannot do everything, but you can do your part. And when your part is placed in my hands, the outcome will be greater than you can imagine. Tonight I speak to you: trust, obey, and step forward. I am doing a new thing, and you are part of it. Receive it, live in it, and let it flow through you into the lives of others. Then you will see not only your life transformed, but also those around you touched by my unchanging love. And all of this will result in one thing: my name exalted, and the world knowing that I am the living God. My child, you will still walk through valleys in this life, but in every place I will be with you. Many times you have prayed for a smooth path for storms to pass you by. Yet I did not promise you a life without storms. I promised that when the storm rises, I will be your refuge. When darkness surrounds you, I will be your light. When you are weak, I will be your strength. As Psalm 2:3-4 says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Do you see that promise has never changed? And you are the one who lives under that assurance. You have passed through seasons that seemed endless when your prayers felt unanswered. You asked why I did not come at once to change your circumstances. But look back, and you will see I never abandoned you. In the days when you wept in secret, I wiped your tears. In the nights when you tossed in restlessness, I kept watch. In the hours when you wanted to give up, I placed a spark of hope in your heart to keep you moving. Each of those moments is proof that you have never been alone. My child, the valley is not your final destination. It is only the pathway to the place I have prepared for you. You may think the darkness will swallow you, but in truth, it is the very backdrop where my light shines brightest. You may feel surrounded, yet it is there I prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. You do not have to wait until danger passes to taste blessing, for even in the midst of adversity, I am able to give you peace that surpasses all understanding. You once thought rest would come only when every problem was solved, but true rest comes when you surrender. I do not want you to live in constant tension, calculating every detail in anxiety. I want you to learn to cast your burdens upon me. As Psalm 5:5-2 declares, cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. When you release it, I will carry it. When you let go, I will act. And you will discover that the peace I give is not like the peace the world offers. It is the kind that steadies your heart, even in the fiercest storm. Do not fear what lies ahead. I know you often look to the future with worry, wondering if things will be all right, if you will have the strength to continue, if my promises will truly come to pass. But your future is not left to uncertainty. It rests entirely in my hands. Before a new day begins, I already know how it will unfold. Before a trial confronts you, I have prepared the way of escape. Before you even lift your voice in prayer, I have heard and ordained the answer. You do not walk into shadows blindly, for I have gone before you to light the way. Remember the times I have rescued you in the past. When you thought you would sink, I lifted you. When you believed every door was shut, I opened a new way. When you thought all was lost, I restored you with abundance. Let these memories become the foundation of your faith today. If I did it for you before, I will do it again, for I do not change. Yesterday, today, and forever, I am the same. I am calling you into deeper trust. Not trust in words only, but trust lived out in action. Not faith that depends on immediate results, but faith that holds fast, even when nothing seems to happen. Not faith that thrives only in ease, but faith that clings in hardship. This is the kind of faith that moves heaven. This is the faith Abraham had when he offered Isaac, believing I could raise him from the dead. This is the faith Daniel had in the lion's den, trusting I could shut the mouths of beasts. And this is the faith I am urging you to grow, that you may stand firm in any circumstance. So be at peace, my child. Even if you walk through valleys, step into darkness, or face storms, I remain with you. You will not be abandoned, nor overwhelmed. Instead, you will emerge stronger, brighter, and more alive. For nothing can separate you from my love, not tribulation, not distress, not danger, neither death nor life. Romans 8:3, 8:39. That love is the anchor that secures you through every season. Tonight I remind you once again, you are safe in my hand. Though the world may shake, you will not be moved. Though everything around you may change, my love for you will never change. And as you walk in this trust, you will find peace spreading through your soul strength, flowing through your body, and joy rising within your spirit. This is the blessing of all who take refuge in me. My beloved, every hardship you have endured has never been wasted. Each trial, each obstacle, each disappointment, I have allowed them not to destroy you, but to build you. You may think those long, difficult days were nothing but loss, but they have been a classroom of the Spirit, where I have taught you strength, patience, and discernment. Just as gold must pass through fire to be refined, so you too must pass through the furnace of testing to emerge pure, radiant, and of greater worth. My child, remember Joseph, betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, falsely accused and imprisoned. From a human perspective, his days were filled with injustice and hopelessness. But from my perspective, every event was a necessary step leading him to the throne of Egypt, where he would save an entire nation from famine. In the same way, what you think is holding you back is the very thing I am using to bring you into the place I have destined. Believe this: all things work together for good to those who love God. Romans 8:2-8. Do not forget, trials are not given to prove your weakness, but to reveal my strength in you. When you feel you have no strength left, that is when you learn that true strength comes from me. When you are lost, that is when you discover that true guidance flows from me. When you feel empty, that is when I fill you with my presence. Trials are simply the stage where miracles unfold. Without the storm, how could the disciples have witnessed Jesus rebuke the winds and waves? Without the night, how could light shine in its full brilliance? Through every difficulty, I have never stood at a distance. I have always been near, guiding and sustaining you. I know there were times when you wanted to quit, but my love held you fast. There were days when you sat in despair, but I lit a spark of hope within you so you would not give up. Each time you thought you had reached the lowest point, I turned that very place into the platform from which you would rise. And when you look back, you will see one truth: you never walked alone, for every step was accompanied by mine. Learn to see trials with the eyes of faith. Do not see only the burden, but see the opportunity to grow. Do not see only the loss, but see the foundation for restoration. Do not see only the darkness, but recognize the light I am preparing to break forth. When you change your perspective, you will realize the enemy has not triumphed, but has instead become an instrument I use to shape and strengthen you. Remember Paul, who faced countless hardships, beatings, imprisonment, opposition, and shipwrecks. Yet he declared with boldness, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. What gave him the ability to stand firm, the assurance that I was with him, and that all suffering was temporary, compared to the eternal glory to be revealed. My child, the same is true for you. Your present suffering is not worthy to be compared with the glory I will reveal in you. I am preparing you for a destiny greater than you can imagine. You were not called merely to survive, but to be a living witness of my power. You were not only rescued from the storm, but sent to help others through their storms. You were not only healed, but called to carry healing to broken hearts. You are my vessel, shaped by fire, refined in trials, made sharp and useful in my hand. Do not think you must carry everything alone. I never place upon you a burden too heavy to bear. In truth, I am the one who carries it. When you are weak, I give strength. When you are weary, I lift you. When you fall, I raise you. You do not need to fight the battle alone, for I am the one who fights for you. The battle belongs to the Lord, and the victory is already yours. Tonight I call you to rise with a renewed heart. Do not let past experiences discourage you. Do not let fear keep you in your comfort zone. Do not let disappointment halt your steps. Move forward, for the very struggles of yesterday are paving the way for tomorrow's glory. You will see my hand more clearly than ever before, and you will know that I never abandoned you, and I never will. Therefore rejoice, even in trials, for you know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. Romans 5:3-4. This is not distant theory, but the very truth you will experience. And this hope will not put you to shame, for my love has been poured into your heart through the Holy Spirit. Hold tightly to this. Your hardships are stepping stones, but the glory I have prepared for you is your true destination. My child, everything you have lost, everything you thought could never be restored, I am able to redeem. You believed time had passed, opportunities had closed, and dreams had been buried forever, but I am the God of restoration. I can turn the years devoured by the locusts into an abundant harvest. I can give you back far more than what you thought was gone. As Joel 2:25 declares, I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. You do not need to cling to regret, for I do not merely return, I return with increase. I am the one who turns tears into testimony, failure into stepping stones, sorrow into glory. Just as Joseph declared to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis 5:0-20. So it is with you. The enemy may have plotted your harm, but I turned it into an opportunity to display my power and my love. No scheme can prevail against my plan. No shadow can hide the light I shine. I see the cracks in your soul, and I do not overlook them. I come to mend, to heal, to restore at the very root. You have grown used to hiding the pain, afraid that if touched it would overwhelm you. But I say, let me touch it. Let me reach into the deepest places, for only I can heal completely. When I heal, the wound no longer bleeds. It becomes a testimony of kindness. You will say, I was broken, but he lifted me. I was lost, but he led me home. I was in despair, but he rekindled hope. I restore not only what is within, but also what surrounds you. I can rebuild relationships you thought were beyond repair. I can bring reconciliation where there was division. I can bring unity where conflict once raged. You believed peace could never return, but I am the maker of peace. When I enter, walls collapse, chasms are bridged, and hardened hearts are softened by love. When I restore, it is never merely to bring things back to the way they were. I bring forth better things. When I close a door, it is because I have a greater one. When I prune, it is so the tree may bear more fruit. When I allow something old to pass, it is because I am preparing something new and beautiful. Do not cling to ashes when I want to crown you with beauty. Do not hold tightly to an old garment when I long to clothe you with a new robe of righteousness. Believe that the glory of the latter will be greater than the former. Haggai 2:9. You asked, "But Lord, am I worthy to receive these things?" My child, grace is the answer. It is not by your good works or merit, but by my unconditional love for you. You were redeemed at the highest price, the blood of my Son. Therefore you are precious in my sight. Do not let shame or condemnation keep you from receiving blessings. As Romans 8:1 declares, there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. You are forgiven, restored, and called by a new name. I do not only desire to heal you, but to send you. You will be a testimony of transforming power. Others will see the difference in you, peace, not born of circumstances, joy not sourced in this world's strength, not from human effort. And they will ask, what changed you? Your very life will be the answer, living proof that I still move, that I still perform miracles. You will become a lighthouse in the darkness, a song of hope in the valley of despair, a witness of unfailing love. Prepare to step into abundance, not an abundance of possessions alone, but of love, grace, and presence. I want your cup to overflow not only for you, but to pour out onto others. You will no longer live in lack, for I am the shepherd, and you shall not want. You will taste the truth that goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life, and you will dwell in my house forever. Psalm 2:3-6. Tonight I speak affirmation over you. The past is gone, the present is being transformed, and your future is filled with hope. Lift your eyes, do not bow your head in shame. Open your heart, do not shut it in fear. Step forward, do not stand still in doubt. For I, the God of restoration, am doing a new thing for you, and no one, no power, no circumstance can stop it. My beloved, right now I call you into deeper intimacy with me. What I long to give you is not merely promises to meet temporary needs, but a life rooted in my presence. You were not created just to survive, but to live in communion with your Creator, so that every breath and every step reflects my love and glory. As John 1:5 declares, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him will bear much fruit, for apart from me you can do nothing. True satisfaction is found only in me and in letting me live in you. This intimacy is not a heavy duty, but a privilege. The world may offer fleeting joys, but only my presence gives fullness of joy. The world may offer temporary light, but only I shine for the whole journey. In my presence, fear dissolves, chains are broken, and your soul finds rest. You do not need to seek elsewhere, for at my right hand are eternal pleasures. Psalm 16:1-1. My child, I want you to learn to hear my voice amid the countless noises of the world. My voice is not always thunderous, but often gentle as a whisper. I speak in stillness in the secret place, when your heart is quiet and turned toward me. Do not think you must travel far to find me. In the small room, in ordinary moments, you can hear my voice. I am always near, waiting for you to open your heart. When you hunger, I will answer. When you seek, you will find. When you knock, the door will be opened. Matthew 7:7. This intimacy will be the source of strength that carries you through a world in turmoil. When you are rooted in me, you will not be shaken by bad news, by trials, or by temptation. Like a tree planted by streams of water, its leaves do not wither, it fears not the heat, and it continues to bear fruit. Jeremiah 1:7-8. So it will be with you when your roots go deep in my love. You will remain steady in every storm. The words of men cannot shake you, for you have heard my voice. The accusations of the enemy cannot defeat you, for you know who you are in me. My child, I am calling you to walk in the leading of my Spirit, not to live by your own will, but to walk in the path I have prepared. The Holy Spirit is the Comforter, the Counselor, the one who reminds and guides. When you do not know how to pray, He intercedes with groanings too deep for words. Romans 8:2-6. When you stand before important decisions, He will give you light. When you are weak, He will give you strength. Walk with sensitivity to hear His voice, and you will never lose your way. I am not only calling you near to receive, but also to be sent. You will become a witness of my love, not through eloquent speeches, but through your very life, a life transformed, healed, and filled with light. Others will look at you and see me. They will see a tender heart in a hardened world, hope in a place of despair, steadfastness in the storm, and through you they will be drawn closer to me. Do not underestimate the influence I have given you. You may think your life is too small to make a difference, but I say even a small light is enough to drive away deep darkness. A single spark can ignite a forest. The love you give, even simple, can change a life. Remember how I used 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands. You do not need much. You only need to offer what you have. When it is in my hands, it becomes a miracle. Tonight I call you to go deeper, deeper into my love, deeper in prayer, deeper in obedience. The deeper you go, the more treasures you will uncover, treasures I have already prepared. This is a call not just for a moment, but for your whole life. Let your heart beat in rhythm with mine, and you will find yourself living not for yourself, but for my eternal kingdom. My beloved, intimacy with me never ends with you being filled only for yourself. It always leads to being sent, to becoming a channel through which my love and power flow to the world. I do not fill you so you may keep it to yourself, but so you may overflow and your life may become a blessing to many. Remember, light is not lit to be hidden under a basket, but placed on a stand to shine for the whole house. Matthew 5:1-5. You are that light I have placed in this world, and it must shine. Know this, the sending is not a burden, but an honor. When I call, I equip. When I assign, I empower. You will never walk lacking, for everything needed to fulfill the mission is already provided in me. As Paul declared, my God will supply every need of yours according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:1-9. Rest assured, my supply will never run dry, and you will always have enough not only to live but to give. I know there are times you ask, am I strong enough to carry this mission? But you do not need to rely on your own strength. My Spirit will grant wisdom beyond human understanding, power beyond physical limits, and peace beyond comprehension. You will see that even in your weakness I am at work. As 2 Corinthians 1:2-9 declares, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. You do not need to be flawless to be used. It is your weakness that becomes the stage for my power. As you walk in this calling, you will face opposition. The enemy will not rejoice to see light spread. He will sow doubt, stir fear, and create obstacles. But do not be afraid. If I am with you, who can stand against you? No weapon formed against you will prevail. Isaiah 5:4-7. Put on the full armor of God, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of readiness to proclaim the gospel, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. Ephesians 6:1-17. With these you will stand firm, and nothing will overcome you. Remember, the mission is not only in grand places, but also in the small daily moments. A word of encouragement to someone in despair, a meal shared with the needy, an act of forgiveness instead of bitterness, all carry the power to transform. The world does not need more empty theories. It needs to see my love in action through you. Let every step, every word, every glance become a testimony that I am alive and at work. My child, do not compare your journey with anyone else's. I have given each person their own portion, their own assignment to build. You do not need to imitate another, nor prove yourself to anyone. You need only be faithful with what I have placed in your hands. Just as the body has many parts, each one necessary for the whole, so you are a vital part of the body of Christ. Do not despise your role, for it carries eternal value. The sending does not leave you poorer, it multiplies you. When you give, you will receive. When you sow in tears, you will reap in joy. When you sacrifice, you will experience provision beyond measure. As Jesus said, no one who has left house or brothers or sisters or mother or father or children or lands for my sake and for the gospel will fail to receive 100-fold now in this time, and in the age to come eternal life. Mark 1:0-9:30. You can never be at a loss when walking in obedience. Tonight I call you to stand in your true identity. You are no longer bound, you are free. No longer a wanderer, you are sent. No longer fearful, you are a warrior in my kingdom. No longer silent, you are a voice declaring life. This is the season to rise with new confidence, not based on yourself, but on the certainty that I am with you. I place upon your shoulders the torch of light. Carry it wherever you go, in your family, in your work, in your community. That light will push back the darkness. It will bring hope to the hopeless, comfort to the broken, and encouragement to the lost. You are not only saved, you are sent to be a vessel of salvation to others. This is the true meaning of the life I have given you. My beloved child, hear me one last time in these words. You are not abandoned, not forgotten, not invisible before my eyes. From the beginning I knew you, called you by name, engraved you on the palms of my hands. Not a tear falls that I do not record. Not a sigh escapes that I do not hear. Not a prayer rises that I do not attend. You are beloved, chosen, and called for a noble purpose, one far greater than your mind has yet imagined. Know that every season you have walked through was part of this journey, a season of trials to refine faith, a season of waiting to shape patience, a season of tears to plant hope, and now you are entering the season of fulfillment, the season when my promises will bear fruit. Do not look back with regret, the past has been redeemed. Do not look around in fear, for I am your shield. Do not look ahead with anxiety, for I have gone before and cleared the way. Lift up your eyes, for your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. You ask, Lord, do I have enough strength to reach the end? And I say, you do not walk alone. I am the author and the finisher. If I begin the good work for you, I will surely bring it to completion. Philippians 1:6. Do not fear that you will fall forever, for my hand will lift you. Do not worry that you will lose your way, for my voice will guide you. Do not be anxious about being left behind, for I promised I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 1:3-5. I want you to live not merely surviving but overflowing. You will no longer shrink back to avoid the storm. You will stand tall, lift your head, and walk with authority. For you are a son, a daughter of the Most High. You are heir to every promise, seated with Christ in heavenly places. You are no longer a slave to fear, but a child who cries out, Abba, Father. Romans 8:1-5. This is your true identity, unshaken by circumstance. The world will look at you and see that I have worked for you. They will see light in your face, joy in your words, peace in your actions. They will see the strength of a heart that has endured storms and yet stands firm. And through this, my name will be exalted. You need not strive for recognition from people, for the light within you will shine on its own. As you walk in obedience, you will become a living testimony that God is still at work. Hold fast to this, the best is yet to come. I am still writing your story, and the next chapter will shine brighter than all that has gone before. You may think you have seen it all, but I say not yet, I have greater things still. What no eye has seen, no ear has heard, nor the heart of man imagined, what God has prepared for those who love him. 1 Corinthians 2:9. And you are one of them. Let this hope anchor your soul steady and secure amid every change in this world. Tonight, I am calling you to rise from the ashes, from disappointment, from doubt. Stand in the power of the Holy Spirit, step forward in your new identity, and shine with the light of heaven. This is your moment. This is your season. This is the fulfillment of the promises spoken over you. I am opening doors that no one can shut. I am releasing blessings you have never even asked for. I am preparing divine encounters, timely connections, and opportunities beyond what you could ever imagine. My child, let your heart be filled with joy, not the fragile joy of the world, but the steadfast joy that comes from knowing you belong to me. Let my peace be the umpire in your heart, even when the storms arise. Let my love be the deep root that nourishes and steadies you. Let the hope I give be an unquenchable flame, even when the night seems overwhelming. This is the life I have promised, and it belongs to you right now. Therefore, walk in trust, live in obedience, and rejoice in hope. Remember that I am always near, closer than your very breath, closer than the beating of your heart. I am the living God, the loving Father, the constant companion, and the one who will fulfill every promise. Rest in this truth: you belong to me, and nothing, not death, nor life, not angels, nor powers, not the present, nor the future, can ever separate you from my everlasting love. Romans 8:38-39. Thank you for listening to today's message. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we can continue receiving the living word, building unshakable faith and walking in the boundless love of God. Amen.